right, everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Paul Novak. I do portfolio review videos on Wednesday, which is what we're doing here. Purpose behind this is really kind of for me. I just wanted a way to document my journey, kind of show my investments, how they're growing over time, show what we're buying, talk about why we're buying them. And probably the biggest videos that I put out on my channel are actually on Saturdays, where we release our financial education videos. If you like the videos, the portfolio reviews, if you like the financial education, I always encourage people, smash that like button and subscribe. This week, we're excited. We finally broke that $28,000 mark. Been kind of hovering around there for a couple of weeks. Had some good weeks in the market, had a couple weeks that have gone down. We have finally gotten back and broke through, so that's exciting. This week in the video, I wanted to go through kind of two different topics. One is the different business sectors that you can invest in. Something I haven't really talked about on here before. I've talked about diversifying, but I haven't really gone into what the business sectors are. And then I'm also going to do a review of my tech stock holdings that we have. I thought it'd be interesting, even for myself, just to kind of look at them and look at how the performance has been. So for business sectors, I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. I've actually made up lists of the different sectors. And if you're ever curious about a certain stock and what their sector is, I'll show right here on the video. I'll actually just type the stock right into Morningstar. And if you scroll down right after you search for the stock, you can actually see what the business sector is. It will list it out on there. And that's how I classify my stocks into the different sectors. So, I've talked about diversification in the past, and some people think, well, if I just buy a bunch of different stocks, I am diversified. And that's kind of true. But you want to try and spread them out amongst these different sectors. So there's basic materials here, consumer cyclical, consumer defensive, communication services, energy, financial services, healthcare, industrials. There's also real estate, technology, and utilities. And I have these lists because as I'm researching stocks, if I find ones that are interesting or ones that I might want to invest in, I'll actually just put them in here, right? So as I get more money coming in, maybe I want to invest in holdings I currently have. Maybe I want to look at some of these other stocks that I find interesting to potentially invest in. So that's kind of how I use the lists. I'll talk technology because I said I'm going to go through my technology stocks anyways. But when I talk about diversification, right, if I had 50 different stocks and all of them are in the technology sector, I am diversified by having different holdings. But at the end of the day, if technology really, that sector really starts to plummet, more than likely all of the stocks are going to start to dip to some extent. And that's where I think you just want to make sure that all of your holdings aren't in one specific sector. All right, so I'll go back up. Obviously, I'm big into tech. I have been for a long time. I think, tech is here to stay for a long time. So you'll notice up here with my portfolio, you can kind of see here, I've normally got it set up to look at what my daily return has been. I'm just going to switch it to my equity. So that's going to show how much money I have in each one of these. And I kind of have these sorted out by, where I've got most of my money at the top. And then as I go down, the holdings, start to scale back a little bit. So the first tech company that I have here, no shock, a lot of people have it in its portfolio, is Apple. When I bought these tech companies that I'm going to go through today, I was more focused on creating a dividend portfolio. So I wanted to make sure that the stocks that I put in my portfolio were good, solid performers, but also paid me dividends that I could ultimately, when I want to retire, live off that dividend income. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's the decision that I was making at the time. So as I look at Apple, right down here, we've deposited $865 into Apple. And since I've gotten started, which is a little over 8 months ago, Been really happy with the returns, right? It's up 30%, so I'm up to $1,133, which for me, I'm not trying to get greedy here. I'm trying to make money over the long haul to generate wealth. I'm not in it to make a quick buck. So really, anything that I'm turning for a profit, I'm happy with at this point, especially being new in investing. And I've got a fair amount of my holdings in here. So you can see for portfolio diversity, I've got a little over 5% of all the money I have in my Robinhood account in Apple. I just believe in Apple as a company. I believe in their products, and I really think they're going to be good, for the long term. And as I was talking about with dividends, right, this is by no means a crazy dividend. It's actually pretty small at 0.6% dividend yield. But at the end of the day, a lot of companies in the tech sector don't even pay dividends. So I looked at it as a stable company that's got decent growth, and the fact that it paid a dividend to me was good. So get back to the portfolio here. All right. The next company that I've got in the tech sector, and this company has done awesome for me, I cannot believe how well it's performed, is this Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. And if I scroll down here, it's actually performed twice as good as Apple, and I probably bought it around the same time. I've been in it since beginning of July. It's up 71%. So I put a little over $700 in here. The dividends that have been paid out are also in this number, so probably close to about 700, and it's up to $1,200. And what I find even more impressive for a company in the tech sector is that it's paying a dividend yield of over 1, right? So again, dividend, I'd say if I can get a dividend around 2 or a little bit higher, I'm happy with that. So this is still on the low end as far as dividends go. But for the tech sector, it's a really solid dividend, in my opinion, at least from what I've seen so far. So this is one of the biggest players in the semiconductor industry. Again, I think it's a very stable company, a very like a long-term hold for me. Don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. And again, I've been happy with their performance. And then as we go back to the portfolio, my last major tech company that I'm holding is Microsoft. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard of them. Very big company. Put $705 in here. The returns haven't been as great, only 17% since I've been in. As far as total portfolio, it's close to 4, high 3s. Total value is $828. And again, I put in because it's a company that I know, a company that I believe in. So I don't think Microsoft is going away anytime soon. Again, for a dividend 0.86, at least it's giving me a dividend in the tech sector. And again, you're going to hear me say this a lot as I go through these portfolio reviews. I have no issues investing my money into a company that's a little bit more high risk, but I'm not just going to take flyers on companies that I don't know to try and make a quick buck. It's got to be a company that I've done some research behind. I know what they're about. I trust their products. I trust their organization in order for me to put my money into them. And again, I bought this as one of my first investments. So early on, I didn't have a lot of stock research, or information on random companies. So I really invested in big players in the industry that I knew something about and that I felt were going to be around for the long term. So then as we go back into the portfolio, kind of just to end for the week. So over the last day, hey, at least we made something. Looks like we were at $75 for the day. Over the last week, we were only up $38, so didn't have a lot of movement this week. It was kind of up, it was down, but at the end of the day, if I'm making any money in the market, I'm a happy camper. And if we go back over the last month, again, very solid. And you can see, and I talk about this in my portfolio reviews, right? There's dips. This market does not just go straight up all the time. But when that happens, don't panic and don't freak out, because again, over the long haul, it's still going up. So $978 over the last month. Over the last 3 months, we're up almost $4,000, $3,800. And again, lifetime, $4,800. So if all goes well, I hit it at one point this week. I'm hoping to do this portfolio review where we're north of $5,000. To me, that'd be a pretty cool milestone to hit. But yeah, that's the portfolio review for the week. So as I always state, if you like this video, if you like the financial education videos, smash that like button and subscribe. I hope to see you back here next week for my portfolio review, and stop over on Saturday to check out the financial education. Thanks for watching.